Well, hey there. I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of How to Paint Like a Feminist. I'm your host, John Ross, and if this is your first time joining us, we'd cordially like to invite you to pull up a chair and hop yourself a squat and witness the not just national, but international liberal meltdowns. It's been glorious to watch. We're going to go ahead and have my handy-dandy producer run those colors across the bottom of your screen there. We're going to start off with Hamas green. I got a slew of explosive jokes for you there. I made it funny. We've got USAID blue. Now, Helen Keller could have seen that one coming, but you knew we had to do it. And then last but most importantly, we have Palestine victory, red. Let's get started. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and get a slew of this Palestine victory red all across this canvas right here. And don't forget, we've got a nice thick coat of liquid white privilege, because of course, anytime we put a non-white color on top, that we always have to show them some sort of DEI oh wait, that's right, that's gone. No more liquid white privilege, just straight white canvas. It's amazing. So we're gonna go ahead and take this Palestinian red and just smear it all over the canvas here. That's right. You gotta love the fact that now that they're in negotiations with Israel to do the hostage release, you've got Palestinians out there declaring that they were the actual victories in this entire ordeal, yet for some reason, if you take one look at places like Rafah and Gaza, not exactly sure what it is that you won. You don't have homes. You're homeless. In fact, you're so homeless that Democrats will now probably want to get you funded to come over as refugees to vote for more Democrat candidates, because that's the way it works. Right, Joe Biden, open borders? We've got these Palestinian protesters for these last almost 2 years out there shutting down roads and just getting all up everybody's faces, trying to interrupt Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance, because after all, you know they not like us. West, south, or side. I'm hip. Quite honestly, you look at these Palestinian protesters, it's just as annoying as the climate change protesters. Man, every time you see those protesters out on the street, you think to yourself, where's a angry Muslim motorist when you need one? It's just kind of ironic that you've got all these countries surrounding Israel, they're Arab nations, and, you know, they were just looking for people to kind of offload a lot of these refugees on, but Egypt said, nope, All the neighboring countries, Iran, nope, not gonna happen. I wonder why that is. Just do a little posy poo here, folks. We'd like to just humbly ask for you to hit that little share button down there and leave a comment. We're regrowing the channel. As you can see, in the past we talked about certain things that we're not allowed to talk about. It got us banned, so we can't talk about that anymore. And also make sure you check out the podcast at the All American Savage Show podcast, wherever podcasts are downloaded. Let's keep going. All right, the next color we're going to go ahead and use is our Hamas green. Where can we put this Hamas green? Can we put it up here? No, they don't seem to want it up here. But you know, it tends to migrate there for some reason. We're gonna just put it up here to the west. See if it blends in there. No, nobody wanted it here. Nobody wanted it over here on the west. Let's put a little bit on the north. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and spread this Hamas out all over the place, because yet it never seems to kind of stabilize itself or find peace. It's always going through some kind of trouble, like electing into power terrorist leaders and suppressing women's rights and voting rights and guns rights and everything that today's Democrat pretty much stands against. Yet for some reason, if you call this out, you're a phobe of some sort. Yet everything that they stand for is in direct contradiction. Make it make sense. It doesn't. They're Democrats. They don't make sense. Man, this Hamas green sure is a pretty loud color. It gets really loud when it claims to be a victim, but then when it's out there attacking people at music festivals, well, it gets pretty quiet. It's almost like it's a non-stop propaganda machine with certain types of people in the crosshairs. non-green types. And it's really ironic that we sit here and talk about fighting these terrorist organizations that want to end Western values over in the Middle East, yet for some reason we have members of our own Congress that are part of this color. And yet nobody seems to care about that. And yet they even go out there in their speeches and say they're there to represent these colors, not the red, white, and blue. Because last I checked, even though America is a nation of immigrants, we're still one nation under God. The right God. The next color we're going to do is our USAID blue. And we're going to have to transition to a much bigger brush because, quite honestly, anytime it involves our taxpayer money going someplace where we don't know about, it's always going to involve a much bigger phallic object inserting itself into our lives and our bodies against our will. That's right, just a nice, relaxing, slightly dark shade of blue to help cover up all those offshore bank account numbers with your taxpayer money. You just gotta love that. Just blend it all. Oh, look, some of that USAID money, it's blending in with the Hamas. Oh, you could probably do a few little dots in there because guess what? That's where some of your money went. We're gonna make happy little tax fraud birds. Look at that, just happy little. They don't naturally look like birds, but again, nothing actually makes sense when the government says it is what it is. There it is, just blend that Hamas blue right in there. That's good. I'm gonna go ahead and keep on spreading it down here for, involving itself in abortion clinics around the world, not just in America. You can get some USAID over here. We're gonna spread it all throughout Haiti. Come to find out the Clintons had a hand in that as well. We're gonna just keep spreading it all over. Oh, this is North Carolina, you don't get any. Hawaii, you don't get any. No, you don't get any. You don't need it. Just natural disasters going on all over the place, but we're so worried about gender studies in Pakistan and drag queen shows in Guatemala because ultimately what the Biden administration was all about was spreading degeneracy across the entirety of the world in hopes that all liberals would rise up and elect more of their kind, which embrace cultural Marxism to ultimately undermine capitalism. Comrades. I'm just going to keep spreading some of this USAID up here. Come to find out that even some of our own elected congressmen on both sides will affiliate with taking a lot of your money. That's right. We're just creating jobs in Congress and giving them more and more money, and yet nothing seems to get done. And many of you probably didn't know this, but we even sent Africa upwards of $50 million to buy them a bunch of condoms to help stop the spread of AIDS. Man, that's taking BBC to the next level. I bet they sent them a lot of magnums, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean. All this white here in the middle, just go ahead and ignore that. We're gonna have to make sure that Hunter Biden doesn't come in there and try and sniff it all up, which I also find interesting. The Biden administration gave him a preemptive pardon, as well as other people like General Miley and the rest that literally committed to China. Yeah, you give them a pardon, because that's what innocent people do, is receive preemptive pardons if they're innocent. Make that one make sense. I also find it very ironic the left will sit there and scream and protest at the sky in their true liberal meltdown fashion about how they didn't elect Elon, they didn't elect a billionaire, but you had no issue with George Soros' money getting spread all over the DNC funding corrupt DA elections. No issue there. But suddenly you have Doge wanting to go in there and actually gut federal overspending, and now you're crying foul, or victim, as you so often do. Using the age-old, oh, this is oppressing minorities, this is racist. It's, nobody cares, nobody's listening. You lost. Your DEI nonsense, it's over. Now back to equality, true equality. Welcome back, America. We missed you. And now for our favorite part, the reveal. So we're gonna take a little bit more of this USA taxpayer money, because we're just blowing it on anything these days, and do it on here. Here we go. Oh, looky there, where your tax money's going. So we're not only sending weapons and other things to Israel, we're also backdooring them by sending money to Hamas. Weird. Hey, if you'd like to enter to win this beautiful work of masterpieceful art, that's right, it's a word. I just made it up. You can go down the link below that says enter here, kind of like your mama. No, for realsies. you can sign up and win this autographed painting, a one-of-a-kind John Ross. Enter the details below. We'll see you later, and make sure you check out shellshockcbd.com.